Hello, how are you? Welcome to your class. Today is the second lesson of percentages. We have learned decimal to percentages, and today we are going to learn that how you can find percentage of any number and their word problems. So let's start over with your second lesson. The first thing we need to know is that if you want to know the percentage of any number, for example 20% of 100, you already know that 20% means 20 out of 100, right? It means 20 out of 100. If I say that I have scored 70%, it means I have taken 70 out of 100 marks. So 20% means you already know 20 marks. Now how we can solve it? Let's do it. 20% means 20 out of 100. This of is always meaning multiplication and 100 is written as it is. So you know that there is a multiplication sign in between, and denominator numerator can be simplified with each other. For example, these two zeros can be cancelled out with these two zeros and we will be left with 20. So it means if you say that 20% of 100, your answer will be equal to 20. So now let's solve for some other questions. For example, if I need to find 35% of 1000. Okay, so again the way is same. What we need to do, 35% means 35 out of 100, of means time, and 1000, right? These two last zeros can be cancelled out, and what we are left with, 35 times 10, which is equals to 350. Okay, so for example, let's take an example that there is 20% off, okay, in a store, right? So whatever the store is, there is 20% off in a store. The original price was £80 of a dress, for example. We need to find now reduced price. Okay, reduced price. What will be reduced price? Can you tell me? Original price is £80, right? And reduction is 20%. The first thing what we need to do, we need to find the 20% of 80. How can we do it? 20 out of 100 times 80, right? This 0 can be cancelled out with this, it can be cancelled with this, and we are left with 2 times 8 equals to 16, right? So 16 has been reduced from your original price. The original price was £80 and now they will give you a discount of 80 minus 16. That will be your discounted price, right? Reduced price. That means £64 is your reduced price. Understand? If you need to find 25% of a number, or you need to find 36% of a number, or you need to find any percentage like 39% of any number, so the traditional way of doing is always 25 over 100 times any number, for example 50. So we can solve it like this. 36% of 70 will be equals to 36 out of 100 times 70, right? In the same way, 39% of 200, let's say, so 39% means 39 of 100, of means multiplication, and 200. So you can find your percentages in this way. This is one way. Okay, so let's solve it quickly. 0 will be cancelled with 0 and 5 times 2 is 10. So we are left with 25 to 2. That means 12.5, right? Look at here now, this 0 can be cancelled out with this 0 and we are left with 36 out of 10 times 7. If I will simplify it by 2, I will have to do more complicated calculation. For that, what I'm going to do, I'm just doing 36 over 10 means my decimal will move from right to left backwards one time. That will become 3.6 times 7. Now what can I do? I can multiply simply 36 by 7 and I can write my answer over here. That is 7 times 6 is 42, 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25. So my decimal decimal will be moved after one digit. So 25.2 is your answer. Okay, so in the same way, these two zeros will be cancelled out with these two zeros, and 2 times 9 is 18, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, 78 your answer. So this now what we are going to learn, we are going to learn 1% and 10% of a number. Okay, these are very important and very easy as well. To find 1% of any number, what you need to do, you need to divide that number by 100. To find 10% of any number, you need to divide it by 10. For example, 1% of 2500 will be equals to 2500 divided by 100. These two zeros will be cancelled out and we will be left with 25. 10% of 2500 is equals to 2500 divided by 10. The zeros will be cancelled out and we will be left with 250. Understand? For example, we need to find 35% of any number you can choose. For example, I am taking some difficult number like 290. Okay, so I know that 10%, first I can find 10% of 290 is 290 divided by 10, right? 0 will be cancelled out and we will be left with 29. Clear? Okay, now what we need to find, we need to find 35%. That means 35 can be broken as 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5, right? How many tens you need? You need 3 tens. 1 10 is equal to 29. It means we need tens 3 times, and 5% will be half of 10. So what is the half of 29? You need to divide it by 29. 28 divided by 2 is 14 and you have to add 0.5 at the end. So we can add 0.5 at the end, that is 14.5. So we can write it as 14.5. Now in this way, you might be thinking that this is very long way, but this is very easy when you will be in practice. Okay, so here what we need to do, we need to multiply 29 times 3, that is 3 times 9 is 27, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Okay, now we need to add 14.5. So 0.5 will be as it is, 7 plus 4 will be 11 and this is 10. So 101.5 will be your answer. Okay, so now this is the way I told you. If you like to follow it, you can. The other way I'm also telling you, 35% of 290 by other way. Okay, as we have just learned, that is 35 divided by 100 times 290, right? So this 0 is going to be cancelled with this 0 and we know that 35 by 10 will become 3.5. Okay, because we are dividing it by 1/10, so decimal will be moved 1 times back. Right, now I can multiply like this, 35 times 20 plus 9. Okay, so 2 times 5 is 10, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 7, and 9 times 5 is 45, 9 times 3 is 27, plus 4 will give you 31. Right, now we can add these numbers and we have 1015, where your decimal will place after one number here. So this is your answer. So if you feel this easier, you can do this. But along with this, you must know always that 10% of any number, for example 2000 is 2000 divided by 10. Okay, you can find it very easily. When you don't have any notebook or pencil, you can do it mentally as well. Alright, so 10% is divided by 10 and 1% is divided by 100. So now let's do some word problems. Look at this question now. A train is late arriving into a station. It should arrive at 5 p.m. Okay, what was the time? The time was 5 p.m. It arrives at 5:15. Which time it actually arrived? 5:15. So what is the question? How many minutes late is the train? How many minutes late is the train? So we can take away 5, 15 and 5, and we will be left with 15 minutes, right? So your train is 15 minutes late. Okay, now look at part B. Write your answer as fraction of an hour. This is 15 minute, right? This is 15 minute. You need to write as a fraction of an hour. So how many minutes are there in an hour? 60 minutes. Very good. So it means 15 out of 60 is a fraction of your answer. But this is not your simplified answer. We can divide these numbers by 5 because we have 5 and 0 at the end. 5 times 3 is 15 and 5 times 12 is 60. Again, you can simplify it by 3. 3 times 1 is 3 and 3 times 4 is 12. So 1/4 is your simplified fraction. Okay, now look at next question. For every 200 pounds that Mrs. Ben earns, right? She saves 34 pounds. What is the question now? Work out 34 pound as a percentage of 200. As I already told you that whenever you need to find percentage, what you need to do, first you need to find the fraction. The fraction means 34 out of 200 because she is saving 24 from 200. Okay, if I have a packet of chocolates and there are 100 chocolates inside, I am taking 2 out of it. It means what will be the fraction? 2 out of 100, right? Here she is saving 34 from 200. That means 34 out of 100. Now we can divide it by 2. 2 times 17 is 34 and 2 times 100 is 200. So we already have a percentage because 17 out of 100 is 17%, right? Now look at the second part of the question. Last month, Mrs. Ben earns £1,000. How much she earned? £1,000, right? How much of this does she save? How much she could save from this £1,000? How much she will be saving? 17%, right? Because we have just found out that 17% she is actually saving. So 17% of 1000 means how we can find it? 17 divided by 100. That means 17 out of 100 times 1000. That means 17% of 1000 would be equals to, 2 zeros will be cancelled out with these 2 zeros. 17 times 10 we are left with, that is equals to 170 pound. So this will be her total saving. If you want to verify, you can even do like this. For every 200 she can save 34. So how many 200s are there in 1000? 5 200s, right? So that means 5 200s. It means you need to multiply 34 times 5, right? So when you will multiply 34 times 5, what will be your answer? 5 times 4 is 20, 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 will give you 17 pound. Okay, so your answer is verified as well. Okay, so now you have to practice all of these questions. We will be meeting in next class with more word problems. See you in the next class.